Morning driver, both passengers here before heading for a Didcot. So open the doors, instrument lights on, if I can remember where the switch is. There, headlights are set to the right position. DRA on, reverser to neutral. Reset the AWS, and we should be ready to depart. So welcome back to TrainSim 2020. Today we are taking this train, 1 Papa 020557 Oxford to Paddington, calling at Oxford, Didcot, Parkway, Reading, Maidenhead, Slough and Paddington. So we depart Oxford at 5:57 and we arrive into Paddington at 7:06. The next stop is Didcot Parkway at 6:14. So departing Oxford, the speed limit is 25 miles per hour. And we have about 10 miles to go to Didcot Parkway. Probably should put the camera back up even more. That. So yeah, we are driving a reskinned version of the Class 801 that came with the London Peterborough route. It's by Superhouse, I really like it. I just wish he did a version that doesn't have all this branding on it. Without all this branding on it. Yeah, because we can switch between diesel and electric, we're going to be on diesel mode all the way to Paddington. Even though the actual train would just switch modes at Didcot. Probably. Yeah, it should, because Didcot is electrified, and 307s go there. Switch keeps yelling at me again. Who knows, Switch? So then the weather looks pretty nice at sunrise, where the sky is all pink and orange. So I think I should keep it like step 1 just so we can start cruising at 90. So if you want to try the scenario for yourself, I've made a new folder in Google Drive that's available publicly, where you can just download the zip folder and follow the installation instructions. So yeah, I did make the scenario myself. It took about 4 hours to make. Even though it's like 6 AM, there still are a lot of trains. Well, wouldn't there be a lot of trains? It's London. Keeping notch 3 seems to keep us at 90. So the next station we will be passing through is Radley, then Culham, then Appleford, then come off onto the like loop line into Didcot. Is the branch at Oxford ever going to be electrified? Because it kind of makes sense, so you don't have to have a separate train from Paddington to Didcot, then Didcot to Oxford. I wonder if Dovetail is ever going to add the option to switch between diesel and electric in the class 800 and 802. It would be really cool if they did. Even though the class 801 the model is electric only. So we have a single yellow because we are following behind a stopping train to Didcot. I think it's going to Paddington. It was Reading. It's heading towards London. This is Culham Station. I don't think this is very used often. That sentence doesn't even make sense. This is Culham Station. I don't think this station is used a lot. So the signal has now changed to yellow, which means we can now proceed past it. Yeah, we will have quite a few yellows going into Paddington. One test drove it a few days ago. So I think the last time I saw a class 800, 801 or 802 was at Victoria on the 12th of October in kind of like a very bland white livery. Why was it grey? I think it was white. So we're now approaching Appleford Station, the last station before our stop at Didcot Parkway. Just gently bringing our speed down. We have a single yellow, which means we need to stop at the next signal. See, I don't know why 802.207 was in just a grey livery. Was it? I mean, like, why wasn't it in the TransPennine livery? Like it should be. Like, was it not? Was it not revenue? Was it not put into the TransPennine livery in time when after it was delivered to TransPennine? I think it was Ardwick Depot. Or something like that. So the next signal should be just up ahead, which is displaying danger aspects. Just gently going to slow our speed down. I'm sure that's TPWS. I'm sure there should be TPWS on this route. But it's the original Oxford Paddington route, so it probably wasn't even thought of yet. So coming off the Oxford branch, the speed limit is 40 miles per hour, and we'll soon be going down to 25. There's another 800 to Warden Marsh. Speed limit is going down to 25. On the left is a Didcot depot. Not depot, it's the yard. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what to put in Didcot yard, so just put some random things in. So looking at our timetable, we are due into Didcot Parkway at 6:12, and the actual train got in at 6:10. So we're actually earlier than the actual train. Just slowing down for this danger signal. Approved. So we now have clearance to platform 4 at Didcot Parkway. Why is the emergency brakes? I have permission. The livery looks really nice, even though you can't see it. And this is where the electrification starts. So at the Parkway, I'm aiming to stop at the end of the platform. Oh, still went at the end of it. So arrival into Didcot Parkway. The next stop is Reading at 6:30. Oh yeah, that 150 on the right is from Swindon Cocklebury to Reading. On real-time trains it said it was formed of a sprinter, so I put a sprinter on it. It might have actually been like a 165 or a 166 or something like that. So as Paddington Didcot Parkway, the speed limit is 70 miles per hour, and we will be soon going on to the up fast, where the speed limit will increase to 125 miles per hour. Although, given that this is not the actual class 800, this is the diesel variant, for some reason it has a maximum speed of 100. Probably because it uses the class 170 physics. Or some elements of the class 170. So we're now crossing onto the up fast, and there's a topping train from Reading to Didcot from the 387. So this is a passenger view. Looks kind of grey. So yeah, don't expect to see any HSTs because HSTs don't operate into Paddington anymore. And then, I mean, there are a few Thames turbos, but they're mostly just 387s. Yeah, for some reason our speed is being capped at 101. So the next stop is Reading in the next 14.5 miles. Maybe we should do some passing shots. So the next station we will be passing through is Chelsea Station, then Gordon Streatley, then Pangbourne, then Talhurst, then Reading. The old Reading station. So last week I also had to, well not had to, I chose to claim for compensation from Northern again because they really can't run their trains on time. So what happened was there was a points failure somewhere around the west side of Manchester Victoria, which means trains couldn't run, which means trains were heavily delayed into getting to Victoria, which means my train from Chester to Leeds via Warrington, Banky, Victoria, Rochdale, Bradford interchange was delayed by more than 15 minutes. I haven't got anything back from Northern yet. I don't expect to get much back because the last time I got compensation back, I got 68p. Like, I don't know what Northern wants me to do with 68p. So there's a class 70 to Trafford Park, I think. Yeah, Trafford Park. It's running late because it's a British train. Why wouldn't British trains run late? So the next stop is, no, the next station we're passing through is Goring and Streatley. I've probably pronounced that wrong. So yeah, this is the Electrified Great Western Main Line, on the Steam Workshop, where someone has extended the electrification from Hayes and Paddington to Didcot. The speed limit is now going back up to 125, even though we're kind of maxed at 100. Maybe I should have done this in 2 parts, where part 1 would be from Oxford to Didcot on diesel mode, and then part 2 would be Didcot to Paddington in electric mode, so we can actually get up to 125. So looking at our timetable again, we were scheduled to pass recording against Streetley at 6:20. Yeah, we're on time. Yeah, but I think as travelling in this context, going at 100 seems to be good enough for our timetable. Especially before we go to London, where there's a lot of other trains to make us late. Especially the Heathrow Express. There's a cross-country train from Southampton to Manchester. What was that? Oh, that's an audio glitch. So the next station is Pangbourne, which only has platforms on the relief lines, or the store lines, or whatever lines you want to call them. So if you're playing this back, the footage may seem a bit like dark because it's literally 20 past 6 in the morning. As we get in towards London, it'll be like 7, which means the sky will be a lot brighter. I kind of like what they've done with the electrification, even though it is kind of basic. Well, isn't the track rule different for the Oxford Paddington diesel and Oxford Paddington electric? So does that mean they had to completely relay the track? Might actually taken a lot more work than it looks. So the next station is Tilehurst, before we approach Reading, the old Reading. That was an 800 to Worcester Florgate Street. I abbreviated it to FS, and it doesn't mean F's sake. There's a stopping train from Paddington to Didcot. This is Tilehurst Station. So Tilehurst at 6:24. We are actually early. That's a warning for 50 miles per hour. So if you go ahead today, I think this looks completely different. Because on the fast lines you got the flyovers. We have the yellow, which means we need to stop right outside Reading Station. Also on the left is the Reading train care depot for, I think it's 387s. And the Caledonian, no not Caledonian, Nine Riviera. So the track to the right goes to Reading West and Basingstoke and Westbury. Speed limits are going down to 50, even though I'm kind of gently approaching the next danger signal, which is just after this junction for some reason. Like, what happens next signal will be just before the junction, so stopping trains don't actually block the junction towards Reading West. A bit of a bad design. So up ahead you can see Reading Station. Like, whose idea was it to put the signal after the junction instead of like here for some reason? Or like here, for example. Because if I stop here now, I'm blocking some of the major junctions. Especially if you had like a HST down here. So we now have clearance into Reading Station. So we do into platform 5, which is with the speed limit of 40 miles per hour. So in platform 4 there's a pair of 387s heading empty from Paddington to Didcot. Probably let's work a train back towards Paddington later on. Don't know why there are still people on it. I'm sure I checked the box to have no people on that train. And on the left there's also a topping train to Paddington leaving, which stops at most stations in Paddington. So arrival into Reading.